So I'm working away at this, trying to adjust the pole pieces here, and I noticed that this last screw head is just junkified with corrosion. So I'm going to dig that out a little bit just with a small screwdriver, a jeweler's screwdriver, something that will get in there and get it out. Of course, being careful not to scratch anything in the process. Okay. And oh man, yeah, gotta be careful with that because there's a lot of tension behind that screw, and I don't want to bugger it up. Again, now I'm going to take where to go? Take that screwdriver again and go around and knock off any of the junk carefully. That is any of the wax that popped up and whatnot. Pretty clean actually. I've seen a lot worse. I'm going to look across that pickup face, and I want to see a nice gradual arc that would match the radius of the fretboard. So as the strings get higher in the middle, through the middle, the pole pieces for the pickup do as well. And we will do the neck pickup as well. I have a little trick that I do with this stuff, which you'd have to actually get one of the instruments in your hands that I've worked on. You'd see what I'm talking about. Well, that was easy. Good. That's all done. It's nice and clean. Okay, so not quite done with this. I'm going to bring a little bit more tension into the instrument. Not up to full pitch. Just inducing some pressure on it, okay? And now what I'm going to do is look at where my end geometry is, okay? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the height, okay? But first I'll give the neck a quick read. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to straighten it out just a hair. Oops. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I'm throwing things around. I'm going to bring that lever towards me, and what that'll do is tighten up the truss rod. There's a separate video I did about this that explains how that little mechanism works for you, okay? And just a little bit, not a quarter of a turn or anything, just a little judgment turn, okay? You can feel the stiffness of the truss rod, whether it's engaged or not. If that nut's going chatter chatter or loose or whatever, then you know you got to snug it up to begin with, right? Or if it's really really tight, well, you might want to try backing it off, lubing it up, and then 3-in-1 oil, good stuff, and then tightening it back up. And again, that'll be a separate video series on how to read a neck properly, okay? To suss out the relief as it should be for the player, for you, because different people want their strings at different heights and stuff like that. So we will give you, that is, I'll give you the information to be able to do that correctly for your own playing style. Okay. Anyway, what I'm going to look for now that I've got the truss rod in a good situation, that is, I want to see about around where the neck meets the body here, usually around the 15th, 17th fret area, in this case the 16th. But I want to see the height of about a neck, 2 dimes. So 20 cents, 2 dimes. Imagine 2 dimes. If you're not sure, get 2 dimes and look at them. That's your gauge, okay? And this is going to come down a little bit. And then on the treble side, I'm going to look around the same area where the neck meets the body. It's just an arbitrary point for me that works for me. You can tinker with this and try to figure out some way that maybe is more specific to the way you like to get things done. Okay? But on the other side here, I'm going to, sorry, I got to resituate. I'm adjusting that thumb wheel. And I want to see, around the same area on the treble side, I want to see the thickness of a nickel. And that's my 5 cents worth. about there. Okay, so I've adjusted the truss rod. I haven't talked about the nut yet, but I'll get to that. I made some preliminary adjustments to the truss rod. The strings are at a nominal pressure. Okay, it's not up to pitch or anything, because if things are tight and bound up, it makes it very hard to adjust these things properly. Okay, because you'll be they're not thumb wheels when you're using pliers and stuff to get them to turn. Anyway, that's not looking too bad. Okay, so now the tailpiece, this here, I have a preference for where I like to see these things. This is ballparked to the fine point. I might make a small incremental adjustment down the road, but this is very much where it is going to wind up as a final position. Now, there is a certain amount of angle break here, where the strings transition from the bridge to the tailpiece. That amount of angle, if you tinker with this, you'll find a sweet spot that works really well for your playing. Now, some people want the studs right tight to the body. That's great, because the theory is you got the studs tight to the body and you're getting maximum transference. That's awesome. Okay, I personally don't notice too much of a difference either way, but what I have noticed is that the amount of angle over the saddles, that angular break there to the tailpiece, can make a really significant change to the overall feel of the how the strings play under your fingers. So it's really worth tinkering at, but be careful, okay, because you don't want to wreck your studs and stuff like that. Use a proper screwdriver, okay, and whatnot. You can even use a coin of the right size. They're a pretty significant slot in these studs, okay. Anyway, what I'm going to do is look at the treble side. Looks good to me, and I'm going to work on the bass side, actually. I want to be very, very careful with this thing. Control it. There's tools out there you can use to make sure that they don't slip off and whatnot. I believe that if you're careful enough, you wouldn't have that problem to begin with. Okay. And what I am looking for is, and I just got it so close. 1/2 a turn, and I think I'm going to be right on it, okay? I'll explain what I'm looking for in a second. Also, I have those slots are in line with each other. It's a nice finish, okay? It just looks pleasant that way. It's just more appealing. Okay, I'm looking at the ends here, and I want to see the same angle of the studs to the thumb wheels, so I can actually see the bottoms of the studs, or the tailpiece, if you would, and the studs themselves, and I see the same amount of reveal on each side. I'm looking straight down the middle of the instrument, so that I know that this plane is exactly in line with this plane. That's just the way I prefer to do it, but I've never ever had any issues with it. I think it works very, very well. Okay, now I'm going to take a little break, and we'll come back and we'll look at getting the strings up to pitch. We're going to address the nut, and we're going to deal with setting the pickup height. Okay? All right, I'll be right back.